I'm about to share a video with you here, and I want to take a moment to explain what this video is about. This video that you're about to see is from my Wild Heart Deep Dive course, which I recently did. And I'm sharing it with you because in this short video, I do a very good job of actually sharing some of the intricacies of like how emotional trauma and our self-sabotage works. And it's the first installment I wanted to share with you over a series of videos as we're going to get into trauma and really understanding how it works in the bodies and affects our physiology in so many different ways. And I thought this was a perfect first installment right from the Wild Heart Deep Dive course for you to get a taste of the work that we're doing inside of this course, and also to bring you into this material a bit more so that you may benefit from it in your life and everything that you're facing right now. So that's a bit of a preview to the video. Enjoy the video, and I'll see you on the other side. Hey there, and welcome to this next part of the Wild Heart Deep Dive. And I'm so excited to invite you into this part, as in this new series, I'm going to guide you on how to actually rewire your nervous system to support you on your journey of moving into your healing and your connection with your heart and your expansion. And this work is absolutely key. Rewiring your nervous system, looking at all these patterns inside of us that get us to shut down, get us to self-sabotage and turn off and turn away from our heart, turn away from our dreams, turn away from our healing and go the other way. And actually neutralizing them and reinstalling benevolent programs that can help support you on your journey. Because let's face it, if this was so easy as like, just focus on what makes you happy and do that, and that's where the abundance is, duh, everybody would be doing it. But why are so many of us on this planet not? Well, it's because we have this thing called the nervous system in our body. And your nervous system could be working for you or it could be working against you. It's actually trying to work for you, but it could be working against you by working for you. And the reason for that is because there's this part in our brain called the amygdala, which is responsible for the fight, freeze, or flight response. When you're out in danger and you see a tiger in the forest, you want that part of your brain because it gets you to take action to run away. The problem is it activates for us in our present day reality, in our present day that we are living in right now, where there's no tigers, but there is an imaginary fear inside of our brain that actually keeps you from doing what it is that you want to be doing or moving in a direction that is expansive. And this is because we go through life and we accumulate traumas, negative events that build conclusions and belief systems inside of our brain, inside of our matrix that say, what, if I do this, that equals pain. When I did that, I was abandoned. I don't want to feel that again. When I did that, I was laughed at in school. I don't want to experience that again. So I better just do it this way. And it's really crazy. It's kind of like, I'll give you two examples. It's kind of like an ant walking in one direction. Like, I'm going to go, I'm going to do it. I have this new expansive thing. I want to move towards my vision. And it's walking in the perfect direction. It's doing everything. It's trying its best to do all the right steps and be connected and just try hard. But it's got this elephant that's moving in the other direction. And it's actually walking on top of this elephant. So the ant could be doing everything it can to walk this way, but the elephant's just going the other way because something here is making it scared, and perhaps there's some food over here that it wants to eat. So you can try as hard as you want, but it's just going to go the other direction. And another way to think of it is like having a 5-year-old inside of your body that you're constantly asking for advice for on your life decisions. It would be crazy to consider that, right? To ask a small child, should I do this new business? What do you think? Should I move in this direction? And their response be, the end all be all for your decisions, but we're doing it all the time. It's like, should I move in this direction or move into this new town or, start this new business or embark on this healing journey? And the 5-year-old's like, no, I don't want to make dad angry. Last time I did that, teacher got really mad, so I shouldn't do that. I don't want that pain. Let's back away. And what will happen is you have this new expansive direction. Perhaps you're already feeling this as we're doing this work. You're already registering this expansiveness. You've maybe had some shifts coming up in your body, or an expansive new opportunity coming up where you're noticing, wow, I could move in this direction. This could be amazing, right? But then there's this like shutdown coming in of like, but what if I do this? What if that happens? What if there's not enough money? What if it's the wrong thing? What if it's not the right thing for me? Or perhaps like a deeper energy coming up of fear, of darkness, or like, oh, I don't know if this is for me. I'm feeling so contracted. I thought this would work, but why am I feeling this way? Right? All these things are coming up because the amygdala is being fired up inside of your body. There are thoughts that are unconscious. There are energies that are unconscious that are causing your energies, your body to actually contract and fear what's happening. And it's getting in the way of the natural process of your heart speaking to you, and in a natural process of your body just actually releasing the pain and the tension that is just so normal to experience as we go through life. And when we actually begin to liberate these patterns, when we liberate the tendency to tighten and contract, this is when we can actually begin to open to receiving this higher calling that's coming for us, and open to receiving the healing that wants to move through us so our body can naturally come into homeostasis and to heal normally. You may already have had a taste of this with our sessions together if we've been doing some one-on-ones. What we're going to get into here is to actually get into the tools so you can do this on your own at home as this stuff comes up. Because the beauty of this stuff is your life is already reflecting to you everything that it wants you to release, every one of these patterns that it wants you to transform. And the way you know these things is that everything in your life, like right now, if you look around you, is already reflecting that to you. Everything that you don't want in your life, that you wish was better, that you wished you weren't experiencing, every sensation coming up in your body, every illness, every pain, it's your body speaking to you and telling you, hey, look at something here. There's an energetic here that I want you to transmute. There's an energy here that I want you to see, that I want you to relax around, that I want you to actually let in. Now, left to our own devices, we're trained to not look at that. We're trained to run away from that stuff. We're trying to stuff it down. And when we do, what happens is that stuff will come up over and over again and recirculate into your life as this self-sabotage that keeps coming up. And the self-sabotage can really be rooted into two beautiful ways. One of them, which is quite hard in the beginning to really feel on your own, just really why it's so good to have someone to reflect it to you. But it's this deep underpinning of your very identity. And it's this thing that we will do everything to not feel. That really unwanted feeling. Like, I don't want to feel abandoned. I don't want to feel lost. I don't want to feel like a failure. I don't want to feel whatever. It's not conscious. It's just deep underneath us, right? It's usually we build this thing up when we're very, very young, usually around like pre-verbal age and early verbal age. We're getting our first impressions of the world and our parents and where we live. And that's where we accumulate that. And when we have this deep fear, it kind of just like registers as a background anxiety that we're doing everything to avoid. You may build up an entire identity around not wanting to feel this thing. Like for a lot of people, it's, I don't want to be abandoned. I don't want to be lost. I don't want to be worthless, or I'm so worthless. I don't want to feel worthless. So I'll do anything to feel worthy. And as you actually allow yourself to feel those things, you'll notice this like just balloon decompressing. You may not even want to do certain things anymore. They might not even matter because you just like press the balloon on this feeling and you're so totally okay as you are. And this is actually when you begin to tap into true self-worth, true worthiness, and true abundance, when you can allow the full totality of even the darkest feelings inside your body to actually move through you and to allow them to move through your body and to meet them with love and compassion. This is the key to this whole thing that you'll hear me repeating over and over again. only with love and compassion that we can meet these programs and actually transmute them. Otherwise, it's just like, again, going head to head with a program. Why is this here? I want to help myself. I should be better. Why am I doing this pattern again? That's just like saying to that 5-year-old, you're broken. You shouldn't be here. But the real thing to do when the 5-year-old comes up and you're like, witness that part of you, like, wow, you're really just afraid of this thing. It's so totally okay. I love you. I'm here for you. The tools we're going to be exploring are just the pathway for you to be able to channel that love and compassion to that hurt part of you that has built all these conclusions and misperceptions that I'm not allowed to be the way I am. I'm not allowed to feel. I'm not allowed to just actually ask the universe for help so life could be easy. And I know for me, I've suffered for this so much in my life and still am unwinding some of these parts because it's a lifelong journey. But for me, the way this would look is I would like move so much, like 2 patterns. One of them would be like I move into like a new energy in my life and a new expansive direction. And it feels like it's going to work out. It's going to be so amazing. And then everything just slowly got so complicated. I would overcomplicate everything because there was this deep belief that if I don't complicate it, then I will fail. So I don't want to feel that pain. And if I make it simple, well, that won't work. So then I will fail and I'll be alone. I'll be worthless. So I better just make it super complicated, because that's a way to guarantee not feeling the shame of it failing. And it was just deep in me. And when all this stuff just like started leaving, first it was like a healing crisis, but all of a sudden life began to look very, very, very different. Yeah. So that's very, very primary. And the other way it can begin to show up is just as these like subtle beliefs that pop up, like I want to move this direction and I want to become this, this new business that I want to start. But if there's even like a subtle fear that says, if you do that, you might not have time and your life will become stressful and then you will be a failure or whatever, then also the amygdala fires up and says, I don't want that, so I'm not going to move in this direction. And so all this is our nervous system trying to keep us from pain. Our bodies are designed to keep us alive. Their bodies are kind of neutral in terms of what you do. It'll speak to you as this expansive feeling because your heart is this beautiful antenna that's tuning into divine possibilities all over the universe, saying, hey, if you move in this direction, this feels expansive. Let's send some positive chemicals into the body so you get this expansive hit. Wow, what would it be like if I moved into this new town and just like left this area of my life behind? But then the amygdala comes in and is like, well, if you do that, you might run out of money, then you'll die. Right? And so it's crazy. We can have these 2 forces completely opposing us. And the longer they do, the more complicated things arise in the body. It could be disease, it could be pain, just general inflammation, as we don't allow ourselves the freedom to feel and to really move in this direction. So what would it be like if you could begin to take these energies that are fighting each other inside of your body and actually begin to reclaim them and lovingly bring them into center and lovingly integrate them into your being as new behavioral patterns that allow you to relax and to be receptive to life and to your own body? What will happen is you will begin to enter true abundance and a greater ease and receptivity with the whole universe. And you will begin to easily move in this direction that you want to move into. Or the whole thing might fall away altogether, this like complex of this thing or that thing, and something completely new will show up because you're seeing things very, very clearly. I want to get a couple things just planted inside of your heart, if you will, to really give you the courage to move through this. One, I've already said, I'll say it again, love and compassion. Remember, we're not doing this to like tap on things or like move into some crazy energy, right? It's all beautiful to move into expansion. We're doing this to allow that expansion to continue to move into the body. And it's all with love and compassion. And the second part is this whole work is like working on this iceberg. right? The tip of the iceberg is what you see in your life, the results, the physical, tangible stuff you can see, what's going on with your body, with your health, what's going on in your bank account, what's going on in your relationships, what's showing up in your life, what are the actual physical reality evidence that's showing up. And underneath this iceberg is, well, the iceberg, right? The actual meat of it. And this is comprised of all the beliefs you have, the unconscious beliefs, the emotions, the conclusions, the traumas that you're carrying in your body. And the interesting thing about these things is it's kind of like a loop stuck in time with trauma and all these energies still dormant in the body. You could have experienced something ages ago, okay, some conclusions you've built, but it's still alive with the same intensity of the experience, even though you don't feel it in your body as if it just happened yesterday or it just happened. So imagine being in a car crash and you just like get hit and you have this shock of like, whoa, I know I've experienced that, right? It's shocking. You get into shock. You can't think, you can't function. You just like naturally instinctively responsive. The fire truck shows up to pull your car away. You're like, I don't know what my name is. Where do I live? I just want to, just give me a blanket. It happened to me once when I was 17. And imagine being in that state and somebody's like, hey, what do you think about moving to a different part of the country or making this decision right now to, restart this project? Or how about, what do you want to do with this relationship? It'd be like impossible, right? But this is actually what's happening underneath. And the more work we do with this balloon underneath the iceberg, as we take one of these traumas one at a time, one of these little belief systems that pops up, one of these energetics that pop up for us in our body, and we just breathe through it, and we utilize these tools to start to transmute this energy, integrate it back into the body in a relaxation response. This balloon just gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and you begin to calm down. You're just less and less of that person right after that accident, and you're just way more present, way more here. Things look very differently, and it may take some time, but the top part of the iceberg starts to shift. It looks different. It looks brighter. There's all those things that you wanted to shift physically, like through tension and getting it done right, making the right decision. Just what is it? Like, should I do it this way or that way? Or like they don't understand and that's the fault. All these things that show up in our life start to just massage out through our energetic field, and the results start to show up physically. And if you're doing this work with me, I know you understand this on some level, otherwise you wouldn't be here, because this is where the real ease begins to happen in life, when you recognize that nothing I do physically actually matters. All the work to change the physical stuff is all inside. So I want to say this to you to give you courage, because this stuff is deep, okay? It's deep, but it can also shift so quickly, right? You got traumatized in 1 second, 1 instant. There's no reason why the healing should take forever, all right? But the brain can come in and tell you this is not going to work. This will take forever. I already did this, and here's this thing showing up, or this uncomfort still showing up, or this pain, or why is this situation coming up here? Use these tools to give yourself love and compassion during these times. Life will present the opportunities, and I promise you, as you use these tools, you'll witness the power of this and what it shifts in your mind, in your body. But just know that it may take some time, okay? It's a lifetime of stuff. It's not going to all disappear just in one day. This is not like do this thing and have this little process and voila, your life is going to be all different instantly. If you're here, it's probably because you've tried that in the past, and you're realizing it's not really working. It's not about the magic tool or the magic new realization or this new understanding you get from a book. It's all about this present moment and giving your body the love and compassion to actually meet these energies as they arise with these tools. And it's this love and compassion and the presence and breathing into these energetic fields that is the key to actually building this new you and building the receptivity for us to retrain the nervous system. Time and time again, your whole body for years has been just taught to contract. If something comes up, contract. This crazy weird thought comes up, contract. And this contraction happens over and over again until it just becomes a habit, a habitual response of, I'm just this contraction. I can't have what I really want because that would mean this. And so when the opportunity to have what you really want comes up, it just goes head to head with the contraction. And you might be wondering this, like, why am I contracting? Why can't I just believe in myself, move through into it? But it's coming up for a reason, because what's contracting is the small self, part of you that thinks you are this limited identity. I am my story. I am my emotions. I am my background. And that is actually here to be dissolved, to be kind of die. In these tools, you get the opportunity to die to that small self and open up to the expansive self, which is already connected, already sourced, already whole, already perfect as you are, already in the space of your expansion, already feeling everything that you could have from getting that thing or that thing. You don't need any of it. It's beyond all that. And these patterns come up to just dissolve into it and be reintegrated into your being. So that's my little intro to this section, and I welcome you into this work. I'll see you in the next video. I'm excited to guide you through this stuff, and as you're moving through it, please reach out to me. If you get stuck at any certain point, I'm here to help you, and I'll see you in the next video.